Let's cross live to Tehran to our correspondent Reza Sayah. Reza, firstly, what does this increased uranium enrichment actually mean?
Eve, technically it means that if Iran decided to build a nuclear weapon, they would be a small step closer. However, it's important to point out that Iran has long said that it's not after a nuclear weapon. And for the past several years, the UN's nuclear watchdog has said there's no indications that Iran is taking steps towards building a nuclear bomb. But perhaps more importantly, it gives Iran a little bit more leverage in this nuclear conflict, and it certainly adds a little bit more pressure on the European signatories to this deal to salvage what's left of the nuclear accord. In fact, yesterday, Iran's senior nuclear negotiator and Deputy Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said that if the European powers would have delivered the promised benefits of the nuclear deal, we would not be here today. Mr. Araghchi making that statement in a news conference where Iran confirmed that it was now enriching uranium at a level higher than 3.67% that was agreed upon when the nuclear deal was signed. It's not clear to what level Iran is enriching uranium. We know it's not at 20% because in the news conference yesterday, they said they're not enriching uranium for the research facility in Tehran that requires that 20%. Unconfirmed reports say that Iran is enriching uranium at 5%, and analysts seem to think that's accurate. And it's still very far away from the 90% level required to fuel a nuclear weapon. Remember, for the year after the U.S. withdrew from the nuclear deal, Iran didn't make any counter moves. It abided by the agreement. But in 1 week, it has now breached 2 items within that agreement, a clear indication that, again, Iran is seemingly putting pressure on the European signatories to get something done to salvage what's left of the deal.
Indeed, putting pressure on them, but Tehran's still saying it is open to diplomacy.
It is, and they made that explicitly clear yesterday, and they made it clear last week, and they breached the first item, going over the limit of the stockpile of enriched uranium. Iran's position is that we're still open to negotiations. However, before we negotiate, the U.S. must withdraw all those sanctions, and the European powers must deliver the benefits that we were promised. There's been talk that perhaps negotiations could restart on Friday. The French President Emmanuel Macron and Iranian President Hassan Rouhani, in a phone call, agreed to explore conditions to restart talks. But in a year when really nothing has been done, not too many people are hopeful that that's going to happen. Iran has warned that in 60 days, if nothing happens, if they're not delivered the promised benefits, they're going to scale back again on another agreement in the nuclear deal.
Okay, well, for now, Reza, we'll leave it at that. But thanks very much for that clarification and insight into what's happening. Reza Sayah there reporting for us live from Tehran.